Novaes with My Shift Thrive Global Ministries. This episode is just me, and not really just me. We've got Jay in the background, and he's going to be doing a Q&A with me as My Shift Thrives community leader segment as well. So I've been interviewing all these community leaders in season 2, and now it's time for Jay and the crew to ask some questions. So they came together, came up with some really cool questions, and here we go, Jay. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. There are moments when someone comes in and I feel a connection with them. Like that's undeniable. I don't think it's sinful to have a natural gravitation and chemistry with someone compared to somebody else. I can't quite spiritually conceptualize it and define it. I don't even know if scripture touches upon that. But I will say, out of every community leader, it's funny. Okay. It would have to be Georgia State Representative Karen Lupton because there's a story behind this. When we went to Capitol Hill, Shay and I, and we met for the first time, it was a Georgia Capitol Hill Stand with Survivors Day 2024. And Karen was speaking up on the podium. Well, she was energized and she was speaking as a victor from a survivor standpoint. I thought that was pretty powerful. And right before she was leaving, this event was still going on, and I had to find a way to dash to her before she left the building. So, really quietly and as respectfully as I could, tiptoe very quickly over to her before she left with a smile. She said, "Of course, I'd love to feature on your podcast." And I was like, wow, that was too easy. Thank you, Jesus. And then when she came, we just hit it off. We talked as if we knew each other and we played some games together. She used to sing. I would like to sing one day one of our songs on the album. I mean, well, I do have one song, but Jay really helped to clean it up. I'll be honest with you. I'm still practicing. But she was teaching me some really cool singing tips, and she spoke on, like, she was vulnerable, and somebody of a political figure to expose herself like that can be pretty scary and intimidating, but she found her truth in it and her strength, and I thought it brought a lot of light to the issue and the importance of having a voice within politics to actually be a politician and a survivor. That's pretty intense and very impactful. So I would have to say that she is one of my favorites. I love you all, but yeah, we had a great time together. Thank you, Karen. I'm actually thinking about Dungy Leonard when he was invited to the White House. He was invited to partake in a violence prevention program. So I believe it started in Chicago. I could be wrong, but it was a lab where he went somewhere for intense training. And then after he completed that task, he went to other major cities across the United States to see how this was being implemented in other cities where the rate of violence was very high. And I saw that as like, how can the ministry impact to that level where we partner with other ministries or with other domestic violence awareness, faith based or not, and we can spread the love of Jesus by coming together as a community and seeing how things are done and how we can prevent further violence from happening. And I admired his fervor. I admired his commitment and dedication to Hope Hustlers. So when he went to the White House and it was like the completion of the ceremony, that Kamala Harris was speaking on behalf of all these community leaders and Dungy was invited, I felt inspired and motivated. So that's the answer to the question. So thank you, Dungy, for that experience and sharing it with us here at Mindshift Thrive.
Awesome.
Yeah. Great questions, by the way.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Which community leader do you feel most aligns with you in terms of function? Managing dates for episodes and like figuring out like the books and the music and all that. Which community leader do you feel like also like mirrors you in that way where they're also managing like a lot of things and you see a lot of what you're doing in them?
I would have to say Ursula McClary because when Shay first introduced me to her and I asked Ursula to send me her bio, I was reading all the things that she had already accomplished and the things that she's doing now. And I'm like, whoa, that's kind of like something like what we're doing in the ministry. And she's doing it within her church and she's doing it within her group and she's expanded. So she's invited anyone who would like to join this prayer group, anyone who wants to join the study. Um, and she's using different platforms too. So it's like the book and online community and within her church. She's a very loving, warm person. So I felt like we were kind of like kindred spirits in the sense where she's just a very inviting, kind, vulnerable soul. But her love for the Lord is like steadfast. And that's another thing that I feel like we have in common.
This is like a sillier question. Which community leader do you feel like you would beat in a board game, and which one do you feel like would beat you in a board game?
Okay, I'm only gonna say Keisha that I would beat her because I ended up beating her at this headbands at the headbands game at the end.
Mm.
That's why. Just because of that. She could beat me every single time thereafter, but because it happened once, I'm like, oh, maybe with the hits that I dropped or the hints that she dropped me, I guess we meshed together in that way that it worked out that I got her clues. So I had to win. I hate competition, but I won because her clues were good. So you know what? It wasn't a competition. And then your second question was
Who would you lose to?
who would I lose to? Oh, somebody who's like on it, I guess. I don't know. Or who knows games really well and they're like super competitive, right? Depends on how you see it. Unless you don't want to edit. Okay.
No,
I was there, now I'm not.
I.
I was here, now I'm not. Peekaboo. Oh, I know. Okay. So the person that would beat me, I think, would be my mentor, Dr. Karen McDonald from Rachel's Rest, and also one of our partners here at My Shift Thrive Global Ministries. Because number one, she's got more extensive experience than I do. Of course, that's definitely merits a lot of credibility, right? And I believe that she's been such a strong foundation for where the ministry needs to go as far as being in tune with the survivors and what's going on in their mind and what they've had to deal with. She has extensive experience with like sexual abuse survivors and she's seen so many of them on one-on-one sessions, which I don't have that kind of experience, and that's why I've been working alongside of her. She's been really coaching me through what it looks like in their mindset and shifting from their struggles and the red flags that you need to really pick up on that maybe you haven't struggled with as a survivor, but most of them have because they've had to encounter this type of onset symptom. Uh, yeah, I would say that you beat me in a game. Yes, Dr. Karen, you would beat me.
Which community leader do you feel like you resonate the most with? And you can, if there's more than one, you can say more than
Mm, definitely Ursula. I know I've mentioned her before. Let's see who else. I would say Misha, and I didn't thank her in the last episode.
one.
So, Misha, thank you. And I apologize I didn't mention you. So, resonating with Misha because she's in coaching. She works with adults who have experienced parents, multiple divorces, or just one divorce and are having a hard time transitioning. I am a child of a divorce situation, and my mom went through a second relationship also that didn't work out. And I was able to tap into her mission and vision with that and having the heart to reach out to them. She does not work with survivors. However, she goes to my home church, so I see her from time to time, and we've established a really nice friendship as well. So in that sense, yes, I would say closely with her and with Ursula, based on what I've spoken about Ursula a few minutes ago.
For all the community leaders, what is one thing that you would like to say to encourage the community leaders to keep doing what they're doing?
I would say that being invited on a platform like this is not something that they could possibly experience very frequently because they're so busy out in the community serving, and it takes a lot out of them. That was just confirmation that they're doing something right. But the one thing that I do want to emphasize is, coming from a leadership standpoint, most people will think people are thanking you, and the truth is, most people aren't. Most people are just saying, oh, good for them. That's great. Let's go out there when we can. So you don't hear it often enough, but know that you are making a difference. And you don't need that kind of validation because you get that validation from God. God has gifted you to go out there in the community and change lives. And if you're already in that position of influence and impact where you are serving and helping others based on your experience, your skills, and abilities, then God has given you a gift. So that gift is something where, yes, in your position, you do have that influence in the community and beyond to move and shake and shift things about policies, systems, organizations. You can add something, you can take something away. Your voice is powerful. Your voice is a role model for someone who needs you, who's doing something that when they're at their lowest, they make a phone call. And that phone call could be you, could be your organization. And you may not be directly seeing it, but people under you or around you, your cohorts, or even your team is seeing it. And if your team's not saying it and you're still out there and you're doing your thing, that's confirmation that it's working. So I want to encourage you to continue because God sees it. You don't need too many people to tell you. You're already in that position. Yeah, that's what I would say.
That's awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That's all I got.
You had a lot.
Cool.
How many questions you throw at me,
That was
Jay?
six.
Awesome. All right. Well, listen, we had to wrap up the community leaders segment, and I want to thank you, Jay, for being an incredible interviewer with amazing questions. So thank you, team, for the questions. Again, this is Rossana Novaes with Mindshift Thrive Global Ministries, thanking our community leaders. I'm glad I was able to engage with you in this very special episode. We love you, stay safe, and until next time, Thrivers, take care and God bless. Mwah!